The forces of the Ossiarch Bonereapers, the Petrifax Elite to be specific, have assaulted a Tzeentchian stronghold in the realm of metal and have eradicated the Chaos Defenders. And by doing so, they have claimed the right to all nearby mortals, so that they too may pay the tithe. Though this was all part of the plan, accordingly, Kairos Fateweaver shows up with a force of flamers, and with the Bonereapers left with no place yet to hide but in the stronghold and nowhere to run, they sally forth.
We play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Age of Sigmar Battle Report.
Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome to another Age of Sigmar Battle Report. I am Luka from MiniWarGaming.
And I'm Vito.
Today we have a slight grudge match, a variation on a grudge match. I am playing the Ossiarch Bonereapers, Petrifax Elite.
And I'm going to be playing the Disciples of Tzeentch, the Eternal Conflagration.
Those stupid flamers. We're playing the Duality of Death scenario. We already have everything set up. So let's go take a look at the armies. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here is my Bonereaper list. I was down 80 points after I bought everything, so I threw in an extra endless spell. Now, I want to be forward and say that both Vito and I are playing this game with the intent of gloves off. Now, I know that the Bonereapers can be played so much more efficiently than this, but I also really wanted to change my list up because I have been playing similar variations of one list. And I want to see what something like this can do. It kind of came to mind. It was all symmetry in a lot of things there, and I want to run a 30-man squad of Mortek Guard real bad. So I'm playing the Petrifax Elite. They are infamous. If you're not too sure what they are, their ability is +1 save across the board. So everything in my army has its save increased by 1. Now, narratively, the Petrifax Elite want to be the big construct. So you have the Necropolis Stalkers, you have the Immortis Guard, the Gothazar Harvesters, and maybe the Catapults are thrown in there as well. But it's super effective when you bring giant hordes of the Mortek Guard. Now, in this case, I only have one squad of 30. Leading today's forces of Ossiarch Bonereapers will be a Liege KAVALOS. He'll be the general in today's game as well, giving him the command trait Mighty ARCHAEOSSIAN. He gets +2 wounds to his characteristic, in addition to that +1 save. So he's got a lot of wounds. I think he's got 9-ish. I'll take a look in a minute. But he's also got a 2-up saving throw. Now, the artifact of power I'm also going to be giving him, that is the GODBONE armor. He will automatically ignore the first wound he takes every phase. That makes him even more durable. That +2 wounds and then ignoring a wound every phase. Something to consider. Now, beside him, we got Immortis and Soul Mason. This is the more utility-based character based around casting spells. He can cast 2 spells a turn, and at the end of his, or the hero phase, he has the chance of casting his own built-in spell up to D3 more times, I believe, which is a reroll hit rolls of 1 spell. Now he's allowed to take a spell from the Ossiarch Bonereaper lore. He's going to take Empower Nadrite Battle Shields. This gives a unit with shields a 5-up to shrug off mortal wounds, specifically mortal wounds, from spells or abilities, stuff like that, in addition to their Deathless Minions ability. Well, it's called Deathless Warriors for the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Each variant of Death Army has a different word for it. But what that is if they are near a hero or near their unit leader or a Hecatos unit, which is the elite stuff, they have a 6-up to shrug off wounds and mortal wounds. So again, that spell will stack with that, only for mortal wounds specifically. For BATTLELINE, I'm trying these units out for the first time. I'm kind of curious to see what their mobility can bring to the table. We have KAVALOS DEATHRIDERS, 2 squads of 5. And a big old maximum size brick of Mortek Guard, sword, and board. I went with the sword because I personally greatly prefer the rend over the extra range of the spears. And you know, if I lose 10 models, then all of a sudden the spears kind of lose their benefit as well. So, you know, losing 10 models out of 30 models isn't the biggest, well, it's certainly very likely. So I'd rather have the swords. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's my personal preference. Moving on to the biggest, scarier things. Well, only scary because they are bigger. I'd put a lot of merit into the Mortek Guard. They have a lot of hitting power. These are Immortis Guard. They have capability of protecting characters. They can bash people with their shields and their halberds, and I can spend a discipline point to bash with the shields again if I want to. All in all, I brought them as a good standing flanking support force to protect the Mortek guard on the sides. And I brought 2 of them. I also brought 2 Mortek crawlers, which are my artillery pieces, giving me some very capable shooting in this list. And here's the second one. They have the capability of doing up to 15 damage per turn. They are pretty accurate, and they're pretty easy to wound. The only downside is they don't really have any rend going for them. I brought the Shrieker and Lispel, the Nexus Shrieker. This thing, I gotta say, is mandatory in almost any Bone Reaper list. It will give my units +1 to hit any enemy units nearby this, in addition to it lowering the bravery characteristic, which won't be as big in this game, but that +1 to hit is just so insane. And I was down 80 points. I couldn't buy anything with 80 points as the Bone Reapers, not even a command point because we don't use those. So we brought the Predator. Just in case I needed him, or just in case I needed to throw out more mortal wounds. I don't know, it was just, I'm still down by 40 points, so maybe I'll get a Triumph, maybe I won't. But the Predator is a cool model, and if I do cast him, well, at least you get to see him on the table. More than likely, this guy will be on the table, though. That is it for the list I'm bringing today. Again, not the most optimized Petrifax Elite list. You know, the Harvesters would be a little bit better in hordes and hordes of Mortek Guard. Though, I think this will still be capable, and I really wanted to see what the double catapult is capable of dishing out.
And now taking a look at 2,000 points of Disciples of Tzeentch, the Eternal Conflagration. Not quite the model count that Luka has, but this list can deal quite the damage. As Luka said, we are going to be playing a little bit on hard mode for today. So this list is going to be dealing quite a bit of damage. I have played a variation of this list, so I've changed a few things. Luka and I have actually played, or Luka's played against this list in the MiniWarGaming Vault. No spoilers of what actually happened against the Flesh Eater Courts, but I did dummy him quite quickly.
Rude.
So a couple of changes that I've done here for my general today is going to be Kairos Fateweaver. That's right, the big man himself. Being part of the Eternal Conflagration, one of the really amazing abilities that I have is the Twisters of Materiality. What I'm allowed to do is I can improve the rend characteristic of all of my flame capabilities by 1. So anything that has flame, which is pretty much the entire army, except for maybe the Screamers, I increase that by 1. So that's going to be pretty devastating. On second thought, I think I will make this CHANGECASTER here my general. My command trait is going to be the Coruscating Flames. I'm allowed to subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with missile weapons if I'm wholly within 12 inches of this general. And then I have another CHANGECASTER as well. So all my heroes are going to be 2 CHANGECASTERs and then Kairos Fateweaver himself. My artifact of power will be the Shroud of WARPFLAME. Anytime I'm allocated a wound or mortal wound on my general, for every 3 up that I roll, that unit will take a mortal wound instead. For BATTLELINE, being part of the Eternal Conflagration, I'm allowed to take Flamers as my BATTLELINE. So we have 2 units of 9 being Tzeentch. I would have liked to take a 3rd unit of 9 because these guys can pack a wallop, but unfortunately I only have 3. Wah, wah. And then to give these guys some bonuses to hit, I have another 3 Exalted Flamers, and boy do these guys pack a punch themselves. To go along with the flaming motif, I took a Burning Chariot of Tzeentch. I had a bunch of extra points. I didn't know really what to do with them, rounding out to 80. So I took some Screamers of Tzeentch. They will pretty much go around flying, trying to capture objectives and be pretty much a nuisance to Luka. Luka is absolutely going to get a triumph as this clocks out to 1990 points of Disciples of Tzeentch.
I'll go ahead and roll that triumph right now while it's relevant. Bloop. That's the Bloodthirsty. Once per game, when a unit goes to fight or shoot, I get to reroll all wound rolls. Now, my experience with these triumphs, I try and blow them right away, just so I don't forget them later on in the game. I would also like to note this is a grudge match because I brought a Flesh Eater Court list that I thought was pretty good. Again, we don't really look at our lists, we don't get them from offline. There's things that we kind of throw together ourselves that we think would be fun and cool. We try and shy away from the stronger stuff because honestly, at home, you guys see that stuff literally all the time. So, you know, give you variations on aspects of the game, but every now and then we like to throw down. So I'm trying to get vengeance for that embarrassing game that Vito gave me the other day. That is what the idea of today's game is. Duality of Death is the battle plan that Vito and I play today. This one is a different variation of Places of Arcane Power, I believe. Regardless, there's two objectives. They're 18 inches in from the short table edge, halfway up the map. The only way to control these objectives is with heroes in battle line. It does not use the normal rules controlling objectives. The first hero or battle line that finishes any type of move controls this objective, not counting a retreat move. You're not allowed to retreat from somewhere near this objective and claim it. Now, this battle line or hero unit will forever control this objective until they leave 3 inches of the center of it, or until another hero or battle line unit specifically comes and kills them off of it. They then immediately gain control of that. Now, if you're controlling an objective with a hero or battle line unit and it dies by something that isn't a hero or battle line, then the objective is not controlled by anybody. And that's pretty much it. We are going to be deploying in these little pocket rectangles on the sides of the table, 12 inches up, 24 inches in, to make a 1 foot by 2 foot rectangle. That means there's going to be a large T of no man's land. And it's going to be playing 2 separate games, but it all depends on how much of our forces we want to put into these little deployment zones. Do we put it exactly half, or do we put a little bit more on one side, or do we put a little bit more on the other side? It's up to us as the players. Now, the way you calculate victory points is you get 1 per turn you're holding the objective, but it's consecutive. It keeps going up. So if you've held it for 2 turns, it's worth 2 points. If you held it for 3 turns, it's worth 3, etc. But there's only 2 objectives, so it's pretty basic. Whoever has the most at the end of 5 turns, well, they'll win the game.
Hey, do you like watching our Age of Sigmar battle reports? Well, check out Matthew and Luka playing Cities of Sigmar versus Khorne in the MiniWarGaming Vault. Click the link below for your free 7-day trial.
Deployment complete. Deployment very wonky on Duality of Death as well. So unfortunate for Vito's army being a very elite, want to stay together, cohesive, synergistic list. Now Death want to do that as well, but the way I built my list is it's kind of like 2 separate armies. Over here I have 1 army. I have my 2 Immortis Guard flanking the Mortek Guard, which is what I initially wanted to do. I think it's a little redundant. I don't know if it's going to matter all that much, but we'll see. I got the double Mortek Crawler over here to answer the double Flamer Squad over here. And we put the Soul Mason way back here because I get to dictate who goes first. I had fewer drops. I was really debating on bringing a battalion to ensure that, or not to ensure I go first, but to ensure I had the say in whoever wants to go first. But I ended up not doing it. I got lucky and Vito's list had a few more drops than I did. He deployed back there because he's more than 30 away from any wizard and where any wizard could theoretically go. So I needed his spells to go off if I wanted to go first. I was very, very sure I wanted to go first in this scenario. So he's back there. Mortek Guard, if I didn't say that, are right there, obviously. And then on the opposite side of the table, on the other side of this little Chaos Fortress we have set up, we have 2 squads of the DEATHRIDERS. Right in the middle of them will be the Liege KAVALOS, my general, acting as my second army, though it's not that many points. I actually can't remember how many points. It's like 360 plus him-ish, so we're looking at about over 500 points, maybe 540, 560 points on this side. Obviously, the rest of my list is heavily focused on my left flank, but this is a pretty durable standing force to go contest this objective in the middle. And across from it, Vito had a hard time here with the, not Keeper Secrets, but Kairos Fateweaver.
Yeah, like Lucas said, everything wants to be cohesive. So I was debating either let this flank collapse or rely on Fateweaver to kind of help it out. So we've got Fateweaver with an Exalted Flamer, 3 Flamers, and then kind of 3 Screamers to maybe mitigate going around and grabbing an objective.
Right, because as it stands with the Kairos there, I believe what I have over here could have walked over the defenders on that side and then kind of made this half of the table handedly mine. It's kind of like we have a 500 to 750 point game going on over here, and we have the 1500 point game going on over here. Though your forces are mobile enough to be able to affect this side if they are able to come over here. So what do you have deployed over here?
Over here we have the 9 Flamers with a CHANGECASTER coupled with an Exalted Flamer. Then we have the Burning Chariot, and then on the far right, another 9 Flamers with my General and an Exalted Flamer.
All right, so again, Vito's list being very elite.
Very, very elite. It needs to work together, but I think with the deployment and the mission, it kind of separated that. So it's kind of, I don't know how well it's going to work.
Because I can tell you right away that between the two of us, I had no problem with where I wanted to put things. I know I was very confident in how I felt. Now Vito struggled. Vito wasn't sure.
did. I was considering doing like a refuse flank where I was going to grab my entire army and then drop it into one spot. But sometimes real world tactics do not work in wargaming.
Yeah, mostly because that would work, I think, 100% if we had 10 to 20 turns to play this game.
Right.
Because it's only 5, like your whole army over here could answer this and kill this, and then in the next, and then rack up points over here, and then when they've all kind of recuperated and got everything back in order, they come over here and annihilate the small forces I have over here. That would work.
That's how I would have responded if this was a real world situation, but this is game.
We only have 5 turns.
Right, so and then there's the double turn as well. We don't know how that's going to work. So
with that being deployment done, I finished dropping by a couple of drops, so I will be going first 100%.
Of course, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I got the 2 catapults, and I can get on the objectives right away with the mobility of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. A lot of people say mobility is their weakness. I don't think so. I mean, they move as fast as Demonettes under the right circumstances. The Mortek Guard do at least, and they just can't charge after they advance because there's only the Staliarch Lords can do that, I believe, but not the Petrifax Elite. Anyways. It's going to be turn 1 for the Ossiarch Bonereapers in this game. We're going to see how this goes. Again, we're trying to play a little bit more tough. It's out of our norm. We play. I'll be honest. We play a lot of softer games here, guys. Because, like I said, you deal with the Petrifax Elite probably on a daily basis when you play. Well, not a daily basis, but every time you go play, you play against your Ossiarch Bonereaper friend. You probably play against the Petrifax Elite. Or if you're playing Ossiarch Bonereapers, I don't blame you. The Petrifax Elite are amazing. So, well, if you hate seeing it here, I guess leave a comment down below. But it's kind of nice to take the gloves off every now and then.
Before anything happens, I'm going to go ahead and roll my 9 fate dice. I'm going to use these throughout the game. Ooh, this is a fantastic roll.
Look at that spread, everyone. Look at that.
Way better than before.
No highs, or no middles, just only highs and lows. Now I'm going to roll for my relentless discipline points for the turn. I get to roll 1 die for every unit I have on the table. For every 6, I get a point. Plus I get 1 for every hero. I got 1 here, and I got 1 on my other flank, and then I get an additional 1 because that's a Liege KAVALOS. They give you another 1. In my hero phase, I will start off with my BONE-TITHE Nexus. We're going to do the Punishment of Agony. I choose an enemy unit wholly with an 18. On a 4 or more, they are -1 to hit until my next hero phase. Now, obviously, I can only choose that squad of flamers, so on a 4 or more, it works! This is the first time it's ever worked for me!
Nice.
-1 to hit. Now for spell casting, my Soul Mason is going to open up with Mystic Shield. This goes off on a 6. Oh, we got it with a 7. Nothing's in range to stop it.
I am not within range to stop it, but that will give me 1 fate point. If I do get enough fate points, I will be able to summon demons and reinforcements to the board.
Mystic Shield will go on this squad of Mortek Guard because they'll need defense against all the shooting across from them. We're going to attempt to cast the Shrieker as our second spell. This goes off on a 5, and we'll get it with 11. That's another fate point. Not a whole lot of room to summon it. It's going to go here for now. This is a predatory on the spell, but it doesn't get to move when you summon it. It moves at the start of every battle round afterwards. 2 other things I should note. This is a soul-linked endless spell, which means only I'm allowed to control it, but it gives the rest of my casting for him, as long as that's around at -1, as he's trying to sustain this spell. And if he's ever killed, that automatically gets dispelled. But Vito is also allowed to dispel it using the normal rules for dispelling endless spells. That's going to bring me to the end of my hero phase, where he has an ability. His Mortek Throne will allow him to cast his own built-in spell a certain amount of times based on this D6 roll. On a 1, no more times. On a 2 to 5, 1 more time. On a 6, D3 times. So just 1 more time. This is Soul Guide, which goes off on a 6. Okay, another 11, another fate point. Now, Soul Guide is pretty basic. I choose one of my units wholly within 24. They get to reroll hit rolls of 1 until my next hero phase. It's going to go on this catapult, so it gets to reroll hit rolls of 1. Now for movement. It's going to be pretty basic. I'll show you where this all ends up afterwards. All of these units are going to run forward, and I'm already going to let you know, I'm going to use Relentless Discipline points on all 3 squads. So they're all going to increase their movement by 3. And for those of you out there who aren't too familiar with the Bonereapers and what this is an ability they have called Unstoppable Advance. It's one of their command abilities. For one of my discipline points, which I substitute in for command points, they get to add 3 to their movement. I can do that on anyone, as long as I have the points. I have 1 remaining point. Voila! Though the most unfortunate thing happened. They rolled a 1 on their run. With the Necrophoros, it makes it a 2, but that was not enough to get within 3 inches of the objective with a battle line unit. I needed to roll what looks to be 2 more inches to have made it. That is a huge factor in this game. It means I won't be scoring this right away. Everything else moved forward, and they rolled, as you can see, pretty much the same. They rolled 2, and these guys rolled a 3, whereas this stuff did not run forward, it just moved forward. Now, for my other flank, it's going to move forward, except for these Death Riders. This is all going to run. These Death Riders are going to move forward. This is where it all ends up. Again, that squad ran first, claimed the objective as their own because they are a battle line. Then the Liege KAVALOS went forward. They didn't go their full run. They rolled rather well, but that's as far as they wanted to go. This squad here moved up a foot. Now comes to the shooting phase. I'm going to fire these Mortek crawlers. I'm going to use their skulls, which is their regular ammunition. It's 3 shots that hit on 2s, wound on 3s, no rend, 5 damage each. And we're going to start with the one that rerolls 1s. And that is going to target this squad of orange flamers. 2s to hit, rerolling 1s. 3s to wound. 2 wounds, no rend.
Now, Flamers of Tzeentch have a 5-up save. That's not really that great.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 of my Destiny dice, and I rolled really well. So boom, 2 Destiny dice for my 5-up saves, because I can spend them on things like saving throws, casting, dispelling, charging, and runs. But the best thing is for saves. So boom, right over there, that's 10 damage that I didn't have to roll for.
That's a huge deal. But we're trying to get through those fate dice early. Now the second one's going to fire at the same target, try and burn through more of those fate dice, or destiny dice. No rerolling 1s though, so 2s to hit. Oh, we got a 1. 3s to wound. Oh, there's 1.
I don't want to roll it. I don't want to test Lady Luck when I have more of these destiny dice. I'm just going to go ahead and use it.
All right. That's it for shooting. On to charging. I have 1 squad of Death Riders I can charge. It's an 11-inch charge, but with the Necrophoros, that's the banner, it gives me +1. I needed a 10 to make it in. We'll fail. And with that failed charge, I have no fights to do. There's no battle shock to speak of because of the destiny dice. And that's it for my turn. I get 1 point because I have 1 battle line unit controlling an objective on the far right side with the Death Riders. I fell short on my left flank, so the score is 1-0.
If at all, Luka did burn through 3 of my destiny dice, which were pretty big rolls. You got rid of 3 of those 5s, which I think was pretty good.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and we actually rolled off camera, and I rolled fairly poorly, and that would have been 15 damage. So I think it was pretty good. Let's go into Disciples of Tzeentch, turn number 1, see if I can do any damage. So at the beginning of my hero phase, I have to choose one of my agendas. This is something that all of the Tzeentch armies have to do to try to achieve something really mischievous. So one of them is going to be mass conjuration. I'm going to choose Kairos Fateweaver to choose this one agenda. What I have to do is I have to successfully cast 2 spells at 9+. If he does this, he will get +1 to cast for the entire game. Kairos Fateweaver is going to open up with the Gift of Change. If I successfully get this off, this will do a flat 6 mortal wounds. I'm just going to go ahead and use one of my destiny dice to cast this, which is going to be a 5, and because of Kairos' special ability, the Mastery of Magic, the lowest die turns into the highest die.
So technically, you would roll another die if it's anything lower than a 5, then.
So then, 5. So
it's a 5.
10.
So you get a 10. I can't stop it because I have no wizards nearby, and that's just gonna be 6 mortal wounds to whom?
It's going to be into your general, the Liege KAVALOS.
Liege. Well, he's got Deathless Warriors because he's a hero. 6 is to ignore damage. Oh no! He doesn't ignore any. But he's got Godbone armor, which makes him ignore the first wound he takes in any phase. And he's got 9 wounds, so he takes 5. He's down to 4. Bam, down to 4. Now, obviously, the Null Myriad would have been a better choice in this one extreme example, though I would have maybe been too list tailory. And I wanted the Petrifax Elite just for that overall survivability. So we'll see if I can survive the magic phase, or the hero phase, and then survive the rest of the phases.
Kairos' next spell is going to be the Bolt of Tzeentch. Plain and simple, this spell will do a flat d6 mortal wounds. I'm going to try and roll for this one.
What do we need to get? A 12?
12.
How about a 12?
Yeah, how about a 12?
Again, Mastery of Magic makes the lowest die roll the highest. So again, I can't stop it, so D6 mortal wounds.
Hoping for something big here for 3.
3's not so bad. I ignore those on 6s with Deathless Warrior. I take 2. Putting my Liege KAVALOS down to 2.
And I just achieved my agenda, so Kairos Fateweaver now gets +1 to cast for the whole game. His last spell is going to be Tzeentch's Firestorm.
Everything's super offensive on this guy. He can cast 3 a turn, which is nuts, but he is Kairos Fateweaver.
For this spell, I have to roll a 9 dice, and for every 6 up, that unit takes D3 mortal wounds. I'm gonna use Destiny dice on this one, which is gonna turn into a 6.
Which
and
is
then I
one
have
of
to
your...
roll for the lowest. Okay, so
You actually get a 13.
yeah, 13.
So he rolls a 2, which becomes a 6. Using his, one of his 2 remaining 6s. He's got 1 6 left of his 4 Destiny dice. He rolls a 13 because of the +1 to cast. And now we're going to roll 9 dice against, I assume, the Liege KAVALOS.
Yes. All right, we're fishing for some vests here.
Oh boy, do we have 4? That's 4d3 mortal wounds on the Liege KAVALOS. He is probably dead.
Oh, bye-bye.
Okay, well, it's 4, 5, 6, right? I only have to make 5 of these. Yeah. We're going to make 2. It's an admirable attempt, but we take 4. Admirable. There we go. He goes down. There goes my general. Now, the Bonereapers don't lose. Oh, actually, I do lose a lot by losing him. I lose 2 Relentless Discipline points every turn now, if I think about it. That is not great. We're done on this side of the table. It's time to fling some magic over here.
We're going to go to my general, who is going to be casting the pink fire of Tzeentch.
And we're going to use the Arcane Tome?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use the Arcane Tome, which allows me to roll 3d6, and I can remove one of the dice of my choice.
So, the lowest one.
The lowest one. Oh, what do I get?
I think we need a 9 here.
Oh, that is not good. Yeah, I needed a 9 to cast, so that's unfortunate.
And if anyone's curious, the Arcane Tome is a once per game ability. So it's burnt there, and the spell doesn't go off, so I'm a little lucky there.
My last Herald is going to go ahead and cast the Treason of Tzeentch. So Treason of Tzeentch, I pick an enemy unit, and for every model that's in that unit, I roll a die. For every 6 up, you'll take a mortal wound. However, if one model dies, they subtract 1 from the hit rolls. This is going to be huge, as I will be targeting this giant squad here. Are they Mortec Guard?
Correct.
I'm targeting them. Treason of Tzeentch goes off on a 5.
Woo! That's good enough. I'll try and stop it with my Soul Mason. I need a 9 to stop this. I don't get any negatives to unbinding spells, only to casting my own spells for my souling spell. Oh! That's a pretty big deal there, folks. That would have been -1 to hit on them, would have kind of sucked. And with that power, we're on to the movement phase. Now, what's the plan?
Oh, I think I need to get towards the objective and hope for a double turn.
That would be pretty devastating for me if you move forward and get the double turn, yes.
Yeah, but then I think it's going to be devastating for me. So I think it's going to be a very volatile game. It could be. It'd be really bad if you get the double turn because I was not into the position to grab the objective, and you did so happen to roll really well on the Destiny dice to negate all of my shooting as well. Yeah.
So it's already a pretty rough start for me. But if we get the double turn, we'll see. That could definitely shift the tides.
Yeah, we're going to come back after our movement. And at the end of the movement phase, this is what we are looking like. The flamer kind of cluster over here moved aggressively towards this objective.
Which is yours now.
Which is now mine because of the battle line roll here. Same thing with Burning Chariot, Exalted Flamer, and a Herald.
To keep the Locust in range.
I did move back a little bit with these Flamers, with the Herald and Exalted Flamer, still being all within 18 inches of their flame bombardment, as now I'm going to open up as much as I can, try to eliminate as many Bonereapers as I can. And then as we jump on over to my left flank, I ran my Screamers, getting a 4 with their base movement of 16. They went 20, created a bit of a screen, and then I just kept everything right where they are, as I'm going to do a little bit of shooting with them. And then Fateweaver, he's not a really good combat guy, so I'm just hoping and banking for a double turn. Not the best mechanic for a game, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Also to note, Kairos doesn't even have a shooting attack like the normal Lord of Change does, so he is literally only really good in the hero phase. Now granted, he could get in here. I think he'd eventually lose this combat to these guys though, so we want to whittle them down and then he'll just move on the objective later when it's safe.
Going to the shooting phase, we're going to start with these Flamers, who are going to fire everything that we have into these Knight No.
Sorry,
DEATHRIDERS, thank
KAVALOS
you.
DEATHRIDERS.
We will +1 to hit because of the Exalted Flamer nearby, so we're going to be hitting on 3s.
Yeah, so they normally hit on 4s, and because of the Eternal Conflagration, they actually have Rend 1 on their attacks as well. This host, this cult, really, really improves Flamers to a, scary standard.
They get 3 shots per person, per Flamer, except for the Exalted, not the Exalted, but the Champion who gets an extra shot, which is scary.
Yes.
So hitting on 3s.
Is there 3 of them there? So it's 10 shots? Yeah. We have 4 misses.
Looking for 3s to wound.
That's 4. -1 to my save, which puts me back to a 4. Petrifax Elite increases it by 1, essentially counteracting the rend. 4 ups. Well, average, we make 2, fail 2. Now the scary thing about Flamers, every one of those 10 attacks were D3 damage. That's gonna be 5. But I do get Deathless Warriors because I'm near the Hecatos of my unit. These are the elite undead. They don't need heroes nearby to sustain them. I still take 5 damage though, which will kill off 1 and bring this guy down to 1 wound remaining.
And now we're going to go with the Exalted Flamer, who has 6 shots, but does the exact same thing. Only thing is, though, he hits on 4s.
Yeah, he doesn't have the rule built in where he gets +1 hit because of Exalted Flamers. We're going to shoot at the same unit.
On 4s.
Ooh!
3s to wound.
Okay, there we go.
Jeez.
Rounded out there. We got 1 wound. He already had a base rend in his Flamer. Now it's rend 2. 5 up. Oh, we take D3 more damage. 2. And 6 to ignore Deathless Warriors. We take 1, which will kill off that guy, and leaving the rest all healthy.
And we're going to shift over onto the right flank, which I think is going to be where most of the action is going to be.
Yeah.
This giant squad of 9 Flamers is going to unload everything that they have into this giant squad of 30 Mortek Guard.
Now, the Flamers here, they get +1 hit because of this guy. They're -1 to hit because of my Nexus, so they're hitting on 4s, but they get +1 to hit a unit of 10 or more, and they get +2 to hit a unit of 20 or more.
So technically speaking, they would hit on 1s, but even though with the +1 or -1, they still hit on 2s.
Yes. Yes, they do. With 3 shots per model, except the leader who's got 4, 28 Flamas coming my way.
Looking for 2s. And 3s. Oop, that was a couple drop dice. 3s to wound.
Oh. Now I see in my failing of a list building here, these should have been Gothazar Harvesters. That would have been a lot better here. Now this is scary. That's 18 saves at -1, putting my save back to a 4, but I do have Mystic Shield on them. Well, maybe that'll help. Reroll these 3 1s. Nope, Mystic Shield did not help. 9 go through, 9 D3 damage. Oh, scary.
Oh.
That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 damage. But we are wholly within 6 of our Hecatos model right here. Made sure when I moved them. So 6s to ignore the damage because of Deathless Warriors. So it's okay. I only take 12. 5, 10, 12. Yikes. That's almost half the unit. From 1 unit shooting, we still have this squad, that guy, and that guy. Now, for these models here, I could have been, if these were Gothazar Harvesters, for example, I'm kind of pointing out the things that I know would have been better on my list. But you got to remember, I played Gothazar Harvesters the last 4 games I played, so I want to not bring them. Those guys all would have stood back up on 4-ups. So it would have killed effectively half of them.
May as well go into this squad, which are exactly 18 away for all of them. They're going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, they get +3 to hit currently because of my unit size. Actually, they only get +2 to hit because of my unit size, but that's still hitting on 2s. Because these guys did not have the -1 to hit punishment.
2s!
Ooh.
3s to wound?
Oh, that's still a really good roll. 17 saves, that's 1 less than last time. 4-ups again. Oh, it's a better roll on my end, though, that's for sure. Rerolling. Ah, dang, Mystic Shield's still not helping. Crazy. This time it's 73 damage. Okay, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 damage. 6 up, Deathless Warriors. Oh, this time we ignore 1. We take 5, 9 more go down, so 3 less than last time, but still. It's 21 that just died from not all the shooting. Rip. I got 9 guys left. Built the Flamer over here. Ooh, into them too. He only hits on 4s though because they're not 10 or more anymore. That's their saving grace.
Oh!
Only 1 hit.
3s to wound.
Now these are Rend 2. So I have a 5-up save. Ooh, that's D3 damage.
Yeah.
Which I will ignore on 6s. I take 2 more. From the back. Just this whole area is just caked in magical flames.
This Exalted Flamer will try to do it.
Trying to focus them down because they're battle line and they're immune to battle shock as the Bone Reaper rule, so they have to die.
On 4s. Oh, come on.
1 hit. 3. Nope.
Oh. That Flamer will try to do it.
Oh, yes.
4s.
Instead, we got 2 with new dice.
And 3s.
Never
Nothing.
mind. We still have magical flames. Magical flames. Magical flames.
Some magical flames coming in from this Herald into the same unit. What do we have? 3 shots?
Pew, pew, pew. Oh, is this guy going to fire at them too? You might as well combine them together. Because they can't kill them.
Yeah, I may as well. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Hitting on 4s.
Ah, much
Apparently
more
they're
accurate.
better. 4s to wound.
3. Now, the Covenant, or the Cult, I can never remember what it is, the Conflagration gives magical flames Rend 1 as well. Which will be Rend 2, because they already have Rend 1. So 5 ups. Woo! Woof, woof. Oh, we only buckle to the normal flamers, nothing else. That ends shooting. Would you like to charge me?
I don't fight, I shoot.
Okay, so that ends your turn, I suppose.
We don't do this here.
That'll bring it to no charging, no fighting. And that means, comes to the battle shock, my whole army ignores it for whatever reason. So we don't have to roll for that either. At the end of your turn, you score a point over here because you nabbed that one from me. So going to the next battle round, I'm going to roll for my discipline points. I get 1 automatically because I have 1 hero left. My Leech KAVALOS is dead. And then I roll 1 for every unit I still have on the table, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're looking for 6s. Oh, so we get 1 more. So we're at 2 because we lose our discipline points every battle round if we don't use them. I had 1 left over. It goes away. All right, well, here's this twist of destiny. Who goes next in the battle round? Obviously, taking the first turn was a mistake after all the destiny dice that came into play. But you know what? Maybe it'll pay off if I don't lose this. I win ties. I'm going to get a 5. Yes.
Oh!
Okay. Okay, we're in a good spot still.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're in a good spot still. So before the turn begins, I have to move my endless spell. It moves 8 only. Normally, Vito would move endless spells, but because it's soul linked, I'm the only one that can move it. So you're going to go to there, which will get the Exalted Flamer and the Flamers within its -1 bravery range and +1 for me to hit them range. I think it's only for melee attacks though. It's for all attacks, but these things hit on 2s anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. If there was a -1 to hit for range attacks, then it would matter. Anyways, that sums up Battle Round 1. The score is currently tied 1-1. A saving grace in the roll-off for the Bonereapers to be able to go in, do some damage, and rack up a little bit more points as I weathered that nasty storm. We are going to start off with my Nexus, and we're going to roll the Punishment of Ignorance. This is a 2+ to reduce your casting, unbinding, and dispelling attempts by 1. We're going to choose this Herald because he's the nearest. And on a 2 or more, go away. Yeah! So he's -1 to his rolls for those 3 rolls. We're going to go ahead and cast some spells now. Got to remember, they're at -1 because I currently am maintaining this endless spell. We're going to cast Mystic Shield first. We roll a 6 in the end after the -1, so we get it.
I'll try to stop that. I mean, I could let that go and try to get fate points. But I'll try to stop that.
With
this guy.
Okay, so he failed because he technically...
Oh, right.
He failed either way.
He failed either way.
We're going to attempt Soul Guide now. This is one that lets me reroll 1s. It goes off on a 6. I fail because I'm -1. Then at the end of the hero phase, his Mortec Throne goes off again. On a 2 or more, I can cast that power again. I can cast it D3 more times. And it's going to be once. I love mechanics like that. Goes off on a 6. I need to show a 7. I do. We have 1 more. You can stop it with 1 more guy, though.
My general's going to try and stop that. Luka rolled a 6, so I need a 7 to try to stop that. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I do get it off. We're going to try and make these catapults a little more efficient. It'll go on this one here. On to movement now. I'm going to step into the terrain a little bit with these Immortis Guard, staying 3 away from the Flamers. Now the Mortec Guard are going to shimmy over in this direction because it's way more important for them to be over here contesting this objective. Now, I don't take it from you because you already established that you're the controller of it, but I have to kill you off of it. Now, these Immortis Guard are going to use Unstoppable Advance, allowing them to move 7. Just because they want this is very important to focus over here. Remind, they actually move 5 base, so they get to go 1 more inch. Now, moving on to my right flank with these DEATHRIDERS, we are going to move up and about. So we have to go the long way around because we have to stay more than 3 away from them as we move. Whereas these ones are going to stay within 3 of the objective when they move, keeping it their own and moving like so. Shooting time! Brings us to our Mortek crawlers. We're going to start by launching this one's skulls, and we're going to spend our triumph to reroll wound rolls as well, just to make sure we're very efficient with this one, and so that I remember to use my triumph. It's going to lob its shots over at these flamers here. This is the one with soul guide, so it hits on 2s, rerolling any 1s. Didn't need, and 3s to wound, rerolling. Didn't need either of those, but it's a good failsafe.
I'm going to spend one of my last Destiny dice that's high. So it's my last 6, because the rest are 2 1s and a 2. So I'll spend one of those for my saves, but now I have to roll twice.
We got there.
But I have to roll 2 5-up saves. Ah!
Make 1. Nice.
That's still 5 damage, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
2.5 die. I'm just going to fire the second one at that squad before we pull any casualties. Now, this one has no bonuses, so hitting on 2s, naturally there's a 1. Wounding on 3s, naturally we fail 1.
1 5-up, can I be so lucky? Oh, I'm not. That's
like,
another 5 damage.
So I killed 5 of them. I did 10 in total, and they're 2 wounds each.
Yeah, so 5 of them will die.
That's going to be it for shooting. We're going to go on to charging. We're going to start with these Immortis Guard here. Charging 7. So we're going to go in deep with them. They're going to get into attack like that. Now the Mortek Guard will charge. They get +1 because of their banners. They roll a 5. I'm going to go, unfortunately, go around this flamer for the most part. We're going to get the Mortek or the Hecatos in there just so we know he's kind of front and center. And we're going to get the rest getting some extra cheeky attacks in there. Should note I'm going to correct this charge a little bit. Instead of these guys piling over there or charging in there, they're going to correct themselves and go over here. Now the Immortis Guard are going to charge. That's just to make room for them in case I roll high enough to go to these flamers over here. They're going to roll a 7, which is not good enough to go to the flamers I shot at with the Mortek crawlers. I will have to commit my attacks over here. And you're going to go in this direction. And then that brings us to our DEATHRIDERS. We're going to keep it simple. This squad is going to attempt to charge first. They get +1 to their because of the Necrophoros. They get a 3, which is good enough. So they are just slightly outside of those Screamers. The Screamers did a good job screening. This squad's going to charge, rolling an 8. Because they are going to go in, and we're going to remember to stay within range of that objective. And that way, we keep it as our own. We are going to start this combat phase off with these Immortis Guard. Now, I've already measured. This guy can pile in 3 inches and reach over, go over there. Whereas this guy is going to pile into over there. And he's just going to go like that. The way we're going to split their attacks up, their shields only have 1 inch reach. So these two are going to bash into the Flamer, the Exalted Flamer. These 2 guys have 2 inch, they all have 2 inch reach on their halberds. These 2 are going to attack the Flamers because they have the range. This guy can attack over the Flamer, into the Exalted Flamer into the Flamers. This one is a little too far away to attack Flamers, so he's going to have to put his attacks into the Exalted Flamer. Immortis Guard, that's attacking the Exalted Flamer, hits on 3s. I get +1 to hit the Flamer because of my Endless Spell, but I'm also -1 to hit because of the Locus of Change from the Herald nearby. Oh, that's sad. That's Battle Shield, he gives a little bash, hitting on 4s. Okay, well, now this one's Battle Shield that has to go into the Exalted Flamer, and then I'll do this one that has to go into the Flamers. First one into the Exalted on 4s. 6s are mortal wounds in addition to their normal damage with a 3 to, that's fine. So we have 1 mortal wound and 1 wound.
5-up save on the Exalted Flamer. Oh, he's going to take 2 wounds. All Flamers and Exalted Flamers have the Touched by Fire special roll. Anytime they suffer a wound or mortal wound, I roll a 5-up, and the target that did those wounds suffer a mortal wound. Looking for 2 5-ups. Luka will take a mortal wound.
I do have a Deathless Warrior against that. I will. This will be allocated after my attacks. I'm just going to put it on now because it won't matter. We'll put it on this guy over here. He's got 3 left. Now the rest of the attacks into the Flamers, starting with the Battle Shield. 4s. Ooh, we got 1 hit, which is a mortal wound. 3 to wound with no rend.
5-up. Oh, and I make it.
Just 1 damage.
And then Touched by Fire. Nothing.
Now for the Halberds on 3s. Oh, half miss. 3s. Dang it. I'm not rolling very well here. So rend 2 just kills the guy. 2 damage.
So this one will die. And 1 wound over there. Touched by Fire. Nothing. Wah wah. It's my pick next. I'm going to go with these Flamers. I'm going to put this 1 Flamer into the Mortek Guard. These 4 will go into...
Those are Immortis Guard.
Oh, these are the Mortis Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll put these 4 into them, and then these 3 will go into them. We'll start with these 3 first, hitting on 5s.
Whew.
And 3s to wound. Getting 2.
The Petrifax Immortis have a 2-up save. We'll roll a 1. Hecatos. Oh, we ignore with Deathless Warrior.
2 attacks into the Mortec Guard. Nothing. And 8 attacks into the Immortis Guard. 5s. Ugh, 2. And then looking for 3s to wound. 2.
Looking for 2-up saves because we're Petrifax. We're going to go ahead with the Immortis Guard and attack. All attacks forward into the Flamers, except for this one Battle Shield won't have range to attack anything. So we'll start with the 2 Battle Shields forward on 4s, and we have a mortal wound. 3s to wound. 1.
5-up save. Ooh, he dies.
Total of 2 so far.
2.
Now for their halberds on 3s. Okay, average. I always like average. And 3s. Nice. Perfect.
So that's going to be another 3 dead. I'll pull these 2.
We got 3 right there.
Oh, 3 right there. Yeah, I guess I'll take that one too. And then 1 wound. Ooh, you know what? I don't want to pull that one because then that leaves a gap right there. So you know what?
So leave him there and pull
Yeah,
him
pull
instead.
that one there, and then I'll transfer the wound to this guy here. And then for touched by fire, looking for 5s, just 1 mortal wound.
Deathless Warrior does not ignore it. Put that wound on the back guy.
I suppose we'll swing on over to my left flank and attack with my Screamers. All of the attacks are going to be going into the DEATHRIDERS in the front here, this full squad of 5. 4s to hit. Oh,
Okay.
3s to wound, getting 3.
No rend, 3-up save. We fail 1. 1 damage, 1 Deathless Warrior. We fail. We take 1. I screwed up my positioning on that squad without realizing. My Hecatos is way over here, and my banner's on the other end, so my banner's going to take a damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish attacking over here. I'll spend my last Relentless Discipline point on Bludgeon, which is the Petrifax Elite command ability. They have access to you use it within range of a hero, a Hecatos unit, or a Mortec Hecatos, which I have right in the middle there. They're going to have Rend 2 on their attacks. We're going to put the 3 Soul Cleaver Great Blades, which are still alive, into the Exalted Flamer. And then this 1 Mortec Guard with his banner, the Necrophoros, has to go into him as well. Whereas the remaining 3 are going to attack the Flamers. We'll do the Nadrite weapons into the Flamers, hitting on 3s because of +1, -1. 6s give me 1 additional hit. So, and it's 4s to wound. Ah, only 2 wounds, but no save.
So this Flamer here will die, and then this Flamer drinks the wound.
And then the 3 Soul Cleaver Great Blades have 6 attacks into the Exalted Flamer, hitting on 3s. They don't get the bonuses on 6s, but I didn't roll. And 3s to wound with Rend 2. So that is him dead as well.
And that will just go ahead and kill this Exalted Flamer. That is going to be 4 touched by fire, though. That's going to be 2.
I don't really want to lose these guys. They have a 6-up Deathless Warriors. Okay, I only lose 1. Not so bad. Honestly, we're going to lose, I guess, this 1 regular Joe.
This Changecaster was pulled in here, so I guess he'll just go in and go for a little fight.
We'll stab.
Got 1 attack with his staff on a 4. Hey, we hit. 4 to wound. Oh, that's going to be a fail.
On to my right flank. I'm going to go with my DEATHRIDERS. We'll go with I guess the squad of 5. They're going to put all their attacks into the Screamers, obviously. They are going to be 3 attacks apiece, 16 attacks because of the Hecatos with the extra hit. 3s are hits here. 6s are Nadrite weapons, but because I charged, it gives me an extra 2 hits instead of just the 1. That's an extra 6 hits. He's wound on 4s with no rend.
5-up save. Not good. One of them has 2 wounds left.
Horsies. 10 attacks with the hooves on 4s and 3s. That's 5 more saves.
5s, and that's it. That's the squad.
That gets them.
And there go the Screamers.
But they did their job. Now these DEATHRIDERS still can pile in, but they can't draw anything into combat. Should note, if I spent a discipline point on their command ability, I could have piled in further, and that would have let me draw them into combat to force them to shoot at these guys, which would have been smart, but I'm a dum-dum.
Going to go into Battle Shock now. Luka doesn't have to take any.
Bonereapers.
But I absolutely do. I have 3 Destiny dice left, 2 1s and a 2. I'm going to go ahead and declare that for this one, I'm going to use a 2. And then this one over here, I'm going to use a 1, so they auto pass.
Now for scoring, important thing to note is these battle line flamers stayed on the objective. I did not kill them off. I was not able to shift them, so it's still Vito's. I don't get any points for it. Now moving over to the right flank, where this is still my objective. I've held it for 2 turns in a row now, so now it's worth 2 victory points, putting the score 3-1.
Right now, it is not looking good for the forces of the Eternal Conflagration. Luka did a pretty decent amount of damage. This left flank over here, or my right flank I should say, is taking a big beating, but not all is lost. Tzeentch may have plans for me yet as we go into Disciples of Tzeentch, turn number 2. Start of the hero phase, there's no real good agendas for me to choose, so I'm just not going to choose any. We're going to start with Fateweaver, and he's going to do the Gift of Change.
This is the built-in spell that allows him to do flat 6 mortal wounds. It goes off on an 8. Let's see, no Destiny dice left. It's all about the Mastery of Magic. And that is an 11. Because of his agenda, he gets +1 to cast. I have no way to stop it, so it's 6 mortal wounds.
And I'm going to be putting it into this squad of 5 to weaken them as much as possible, so then Kairos can go and jump onto that objective.
Wholly within 6 of the Hekatos, we take 5 of them. There we go. So that kills these 2 off.
He's going to do the Bolt of Tzeentch.
What does this go off on?
On that.
How about a 13?
Yeah. D6 mortal wounds.
Just like last time, it's 3. At least, I think it was 3. Deathless Warriors. I take 3, which is going to kill one completely. Now, the problem is, I'm a fool, and I misplaced my models when I moved them around. The only one within 3 is this model, so that means I'm going to eventually have to lose my Hekatos here to claim that objective. That's not good. So we're going to lose the guy in the middle for now.
And we're going to go for Tzeentch's Firestorm. Looking for that 9.
Oh, there's another 13 with Mastery of Magic, as long as you always roll a 6. This is one where we roll 9 dice. For every 6, it's D3 mortal wounds.
Can we get invested this time?
We got 4 last time. We're only going to get 1 this time.
D3 for 2.
Looking for that. We take 1 damage, and folks, we are putting that on the Hekatos because we need that model on that objective. Interesting, actually. No, yeah, we have to do that. That will be 3 more fate points, and then we're going to move to the magic on this side.
My general is going to cast Unchecked Mutation. The unit's going to suffer D3 mortal wounds. If any model is slain on a 3+, they'll take another D3 mortal wounds. Looking for a 6.
That's a 6. My Soul Mason can unbind 2 a turn, so he might as well try. And he does! He's acting in good defense on this side. 1 Herald left.
He's going to go ahead and cast his Pink Fire of Tzeentch.
Does he want to use his Arcane Tome?
I'm going to use my Arcane Tome.
Again, that's the rule. Listen, throw 3 dice and remove 1 of them. Didn't work last time, but it will work this time. Rolling a 12. I have no way to stop that because I have no bonuses. So that's just D6 mortal wounds to which target?
I'm going to throw it into these guys.
The IMMORTIS Guard, the big, scary, beefy boys. Get through that 2-up save.
On second thought, I think I have to go into BATTLELINE and use all of my shooting support to take out all of Luka's kind of heavy hitters. So that's what I'm going to do, into the BATTLELINE instead. D6 mortal wounds, of course, 1.
6 to ignore. I do!
Why, Luka?
That's what you get for all that deliberation.
I know.
You just
Tzeentch.
And that is going to end the hero phase, leaving you at, I believe, 9 points. You need at least 10 to summon.
Well, I did get that 1 spell off.
Oh, that's true, you did. So
So I'm at 10 exactly.
You could summon. Oh, you know what I just recalled? This guy technically rolled an 11 for that spell because of the punishment I put on him. It's not going to really change anything. I'm just going to see if I can stop it. I didn't. I actually rolled it. I needed to roll a 12 to stop it. So everything stays the same. He still gets his fate point. Movement.
Going into movement phase, my Burning Chariot is going to go ahead and fly.
Goodbye, Mortek Crawler. You're not going to die, but you're not going to be able to shoot anymore.
That's the whole reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
We're going to get some support.
Got to get battle line near the objective.
Yeah, buddy. Let's get in there.
Here they come. Oh, and a Flamer. Or Exalted Flamer. He's going to be coming up anyways to give his +1 to hit bubble to these guys and those Flamers that are still stuck in combat.
Oh, and we should make sure we're outside of 3, so there we go. And I may as well bring in this guy as well.
Locus of Change, always good to include. Now to the other side.
Fateweaver doesn't really have the best movement, but he's just going to go ahead and fly right to here, kind of turn around and face his enemies.
He is maybe slightly considering getting into close combat.
Flamer is going to fly on over, try to grab this objective. We do have to stay 3 inches away. I'm just going to conga line over here.
Now we should note this doesn't actually take the objective. These guys have to die first. But if they are the ones that kill them, then that will be their objective.
Exalted Flamer is going to move in, kind of give them a little bit of support as well.
We just had to adjust the Flamers. They were looking a little too close. Now they're for sure outside of 3. And within 3 of the objective, again, if they shoot my riders, that is their objective and a bad position for me to be in for sure. That's it for movement. On to shooting, we're just going to start over here. We have the Exalted and the 3 Flamers. Where are we starting?
We'll start with these 3 Flamers. They're going to be firing into the 2 DEATHRIDERs. All these shots hitting on 3s. And 3s to wound. That's kind of all over the place.
3. That is not ideal.
-1.
Puts my save to a 4 up because Petrifax. And only making 1 failing 2, so that's 2d3 damage. And, it's not bad. That's 4. Deathless Warriors. I would really like to make 3 of these. So we'll make none. Which, coming to realize, that kills my Hekatos off. That was expected. Though, they didn't kill them. Which means that if he kills them, this is still my objective, technically. Unless they do a move, like a charge, that gets them within range of it as well. I guess I shouldn't say it's still going to be mine. I lose control of it, but Vito doesn't gain control of it. It'll be a neutral objective. After some deliberation, we have a plan.
I think what I'm going to do is my Exalted Flamer is going to fire into them, and then I'm hoping that my 3 Flamers can shave off that last wound.
Charge and kill them off, yeah.
Yeah.
So Exalted Flamer into my 3 DEATHRIDERs.
4s to hit.
That's not bad.
3s to wound.
Ooh. Ren 2, 5 up saves. Make 1, fail 1.
D3.
2! This unit still does have its Hekatos, so Deathless Warriors prevents none. And that's going to put this DEATHRIDER down to 1. That's it for shooting over here.
I want to go with these 3 Flamers who are in combat.
But they're allowed to shoot at anything nearby them right now.
Yeah, and we're going to fire into your battle line. Unfortunately, with the Flamer, I'm just out by about 1.5 inches.
Has to be wholly within 9 for the +1 to hit.
So they're going to be hitting on 4s.
All right. Not so bad. Not so bad.
3s to wound.
That's super good.
Oh, wow, okay.
Saving. 4s. Oh, we only saved 2. They do still have Mystic Shield active because the 1 Herald failed to stop it. Oh, it helps. Finally, it helps. So that's 3d3 damage, though. Ah, boy. Near max. That's 8 damage. Just going to roll Deathless Warriors. I only have 6 dice here. Rerolling 2. So I stop 2. So I take 6, and that's the squad. That is exactly the squad, actually. So there goes my battle line over here. Who would have thought I'd lose 30 so fast? Especially as Petrifax Elite as well. Flamers, boys.
I'm just going to combine both my shots for both my Changecasters and their Magical Flame into your IMMORTIS guard. 6 shots on 4s. 3 hits, looking for 4s to wound. 2.
-2. My 2 up goes to a 4 up. Oh, the -2 is a huge... Well, I guess it would have failed the 1 no matter what. Is that just 2 damage?
Yeah, just 2 damage.
Bam! I take 1. Down to 2. Exalt the Flamer into them.
4s to hit. 3s to wound.
2 at Ren 2. 4 up! Fail 1, that's D3 damage. Only 1, and I take it. These Flamers are left.
To stop Luka from going ahead and grabbing this objective, I think I am within 18. I'm just going to fire everything into him.
And they do get guided by the Exalted Flamer, so 3s to hit, and I have no lookouts, sir.
13 shots on 3s. 3s to wound.
In Petrifax Elite, he's got a 4 up save to a 5 up. Oh! That's a bad roll. The little assassin Flamers. Only 5. Oh, that's 6. Deathless Warriors. He takes 5 damage. 1 wound left, but that's what we got the Exalted Flamer for. Pew!
The Burning Chariot on 4s. 3s to wound.
2, but an even better rend. So 6 up. Oh, making 1. Interesting. Oh, 6 up? Oh! Okay, so maybe the game isn't quite so over. If you kill him, if Vito killed him off, that's pretty much game, but we'll see. Would you like to do any charges over here?
I would. My Burning Chariot is going to have to make a charge.
All right, we'll go for it. You just need a 3. He's good with a 7. With that 7, getting there, easily within range to pile in and attack the Soul Mason.
I think I'm just going to hold and wait for that double turn again.
That's fair. So these guys over here, they're stuck in combat, obviously, but hopefully we'll see if we can clear them up and at least get them off of the objective.
And then onto my left flank, these 3 Flamers are going to charge that 1 DEATHRIDER.
5. Good enough.
Getting in like so. I think Kairos Fateweaver is going to try to make a charge as well. Yeah.
10?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
10.
It's going to end there. Again, he's a hero, so if he kills him off or if the Flamers kill him off, that's your objective. Staff it tomorrow. We're going to start with Kairos swinging his fancy, I guess, relic staff.
Hits on 3s. Okay, good job, buddy. And we wound on 1s. Because that's a...
But 1s always fail.
1s always fail.
Now,
Kairos, you suck.
If you want, you can use your Guided by Eternity rule to make that a 2 to wound.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. That's his once per game ability.
Yeah.
It's just at this point, that's all that really matters. I think he's Ren 2 on his attack. Oh, I made my save anyways. He's only Ren 1, so it would have been a 4-up save. But he still has his little beak attack. 5 beak attacks.
On 4s. And 3s.
1. This guy's not meant for combat. 4-up save.
Oh, it's 2 damage.
Look at that. He stopped it too. His base caught it and threw it backwards. He's dead. And then that objective is yours. Well, this guy's within 3 of him already. So to stop this guy from getting into this thing, because he could, he's within 6 of it. So if he gets to pile in, he'd pile into him. I'm going to pile in this guy first to make him the equal distance of the crawler there so that he can't pile in at all. Or I guess he'd have to pile in closer to both of them. And that way it keeps this guy safe. 2 attacks with the Soul Mason staff. 1 hit. 3 to wound. Ren 1.
6 up.
All right, D3 damage. 3.
Oh, wow.
And then the Ossified Claws on 4s. 3s. Ren 1.
6 up.
1 damage. We do a total of 3. But you could burn my blood.
What did you do 3 damage from before?
I just did 4 in total.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
so
That's
down
what I
to
meant.
2.
Oh, he's only got 5 wounds?
Oh, yeah.
What?
So he's got 6.
Oh, so wait.
So you did 4 in total.
Oh, because I rolled a 3, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
He's only got 6 wounds?
Oh, yeah.
That's wild. I mean, like, the combined wound characteristic of him and those 2 things down there, I believe, is 7. Wait, no, 10. Why has he only got 6?
And then touched by fire.
No.
On 5s.
No! 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 Dead. Bam.
Burned him.
All right, that's my last chance to get points over here.
I suppose I'll go ahead and fight with the burning chariot.
Is he going to pile in and pull this one in?
He's probably going to die.
Yeah, because they have 6 attacks each.
Oh, yeah, they're actually really good, aren't they?
Well, they're like 4s and 4s, but with your like 5-up save and 2 remaining wounds, I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
You know what? On second thought, I'm going to go and fight with these 3 flamers.
Okay. 2 attacks apiece.
On 5s.
3 hits.
3 wound.
2 wounding hits, but no rend. So we have 1 fail, which I will take, putting me down at 2. Oop. We're going to go with these Immortis Guard. We're going to pile you in there. You have to go closer to this guy. So we will. He's going to attack backwards, and you're going to go in and attack forward. So both of these Immortis Guard are going to shield and halberd the Herald, and then he's going to put all of his attacks into the Flamers. The attacks into the Herald first. The Herald is not within 12 of this, so I'm -1 to hit because of Locus of Change. 5 to hit with the shield. We do 1 more wound. And wound. No rend.
5 up.
That's only 1 damage. And then the Halberds. 2 attacks apiece. 4s to hit. Oh, the Locus of Change stopped it. So he only takes his 1. Then the one attacking the Flamers. Shield first. I do get +1 to hit them because of that nearby. Well, +1, -1. We do not wound. And then 2 attacks with the Halberd. Both hit. And both wound. No save because Ren 2, and it's 4 damage in total.
4 touched by fire.
Which will be 1. Hecatos. No, it kills him off too. So he kills 2 of them off, leaves 1 with 1 wound, and he dies.
Yeah. I'll go with my CHANGECASTER. 1 attack with the Staff of Change on a 4.
It hits.
Never mind. It's a 3 to wound, but...
Fails to wound. I wish you were BATTLELINE in this scenario. So they're just going to pile in and attack this guy. You know what? This guy is going to pile in that a little bit further. This guy's going to pile in here. He's going to attack with his halberd and then shield this way. And then they're going to put the rest of their attacks on him because I have to. We'll start with the halberd into the CHANGECASTER. We hit once, and we don't wound him. Then the halberd's into him. Not the halberd, sorry, his shields. He just does 1 mortal wound and kills that last flamer off. On a 5-up, I take a mortal wound. I ignore it. I do. That Herald refuses to die. And this was the wounded guy in the middle, which is kind of scary, but my turn's maybe coming up next, so it might not matter all that much. Ooh, realizing probably shouldn't have brought him into combat. I was super confident he was going to kill him, though. That means they would have been free to attack stuff over here. So that's a big blunder on my end. That was actually a dumb move. I don't know why I did that. I was kind of in a mood of apathy, I suppose, because it's not going well for me. but maybe I could sneak something up, but not when I make mistakes like that. But we have to keep fighting. This guy can attack.
We have 4 attacks with the Flaming Maw on 5s.
No piling into the other one.
And then he's going to go ahead and...
You'll probably kill him, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to kill me.
I would suggest not to, but...
I'm not.
Okay.
3 to wound. Nothing. And the blue hordes are going to try to jab you with 5s.
Nope.
No. And then the Lamprey bites on 4s.
3 hits.
3s to wound.
3 up, save, Petrifax Elite. We take a damage. We are not Mortec, so we take a damage. Sorry, we're not Hecatos. We are Mortec. We are a Mortec crawler. The crew are going to jump off the catapult with all their tools and start walloping on them. Because we are near this, though, we get +1 to hit, so we hit on 2s. Oh, triple 1s. 4s to wound. Oh, we might kill him. You gotta make 1 5 up. Oh, he does. So he's got 1. That is the world of difference there, too, folks. Oh, why did I roll 3 1s? Man, this is like one of those games where it's just like, it's very close to conceding, but it's just like, okay, if this works, I could probably pull this off. If this works, I can pull this off. Then it just keeps like, just work, man. Just do what I need you to do. And there's no battle shocks to speak of. Those guys could pile in over there because they charge, but they don't really want to because they don't want to pull in the DEATHRIDERS. The DEATHRIDERS are currently outside of combat way over on that side of the table. The score right now, at the end of your turn, you're going to score 1 point. So the score is 3 to 2 for the Bonereapers currently. For this objective over here on this side of the table, no one controls it because I killed the unit that was controlling it off of it. It doesn't become mine because they're not battle line, nor are they heroes. So Bonereapers is still winning, but it comes to a roll-off now. It's a very tight-knit plan that I can pull off that will enable me to win this game, but it involves me killing off those flamers and Kairos Fateweaver, as well as all this stuff over here. Now, it's not the perfect plan, because that's pretty tough, but I could potentially get that and make that happen, but literally have to have perfect rolls. First and foremost, the roll out to see who goes next.
Yes.
I win ties, so 2, okay? And that's a concede. Okay, well, that kind of sucks. I hate this mechanic. It's the stupidest mechanic in the game, but that's fine. Whatever. We have to deal with it. Now, I'll concede there, because you win. I'm going to see if my plan could have theoretically worked. So we're going to go into my hero phase very quickly. This guy here is going to do a mortal wound to that guy on a 2 or more. So he takes a mortal wound and dies, which frees up my catapults. That is the punishment of agony, I believe it's called, from the Nexus. And then I guess this guy technically would have moved up a little bit. He'll just go to there just to give me +1 to hit them. That pretty much sums up my hero phase. Now is movement, and these catapults have to put in work. I should also roll my discipline points if they come up. I have no heroes left, so I don't get any from there. And I have 5 remaining units on the table, so I'll get 1 discipline point. This Mortec Crawler has to move 4 to get in range to fire at Kairos Fateweaver down there. This one over here, pre-measuring it, it can't quite make it, even with the extra 3-inch movement on the Unstoppable Advance, if I was to get my Hecatos units in range to even give that to him. But that's okay. He's going to sit here and try and take out that Herald so that these guys are free to charge over here to try and clean them up. Because I have to kill this squad and him off to deny you capability of getting points over here as well as that Herald. CHANGECASTER. To this side of the table, these guys are going to reposition. It's a lot of stuff that has to work.
Luka's what if phase.
This is my what if phase. This crawler is going to fire his skulls at that Herald there, like I said earlier. I'm not going to use the Cursed Steel because it's a -3 modifier with his current wounds. I'd have to roll, he's got 5 wounds. I'd have to roll an 8 or more. The way it works is I roll 2d6, I target a model, I automatically hit it. Or I think it's Steel. Stele? I don't know. I pretty much shoot a cursed monument, like a slab of stone at that guy. And if I roll an 8 or more, he's automatically dead. He's slain because of the -3 modifier. Normally I have to roll a 5 or more. I'm going to shoot him with the normal shots because I think that's just more likely to do it with his poor save. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. Oh, what?
No, Luka, no.
Oh, the Cursed Steel? Would have killed him. That's funny. I mean, 2s and 3s, I think the odds were better in my favor. Oh, man. Okay, well, that obviously failed. That one's going to shoot a Kairos Fateweaver. 2s and 3s. 1 wound. Save! If you make it, it's 5 damage. And that brings him down to...
He's got 14 wounds.
So, okay, so he's got 9 left. Yeah, it was pretty much them having to put in work. He had to kill him, and he had to do about 10 damage to Kairos for the DEATHRIDERS to charge and take him out. With that, I'll stop my what if phase. So even if I did win the priority roll off for next turn, I wouldn't have really done enough. I mean, I maybe could have to counteract you, but I think you would have then tied it up on points and then maybe taken the lead if you were able to get 2. It would have been, you would have got the 1 point over here, probably not over there if I do kill Kairos off with the DEATHRIDERS, which I probably wouldn't do. I do have Rend on their attacks. Anyways, doesn't matter. And then you would have got a point over here by charging, and then I would have killed them. And then it would have been a tie game, and then another roll-off to see if I could have killed them some more. This is a close game. That's what would have happened to me. Assuming that was my turn there, it still could have been a tie, and then would have came down to a minor victory on points killed. But then that's assuming I win the next roll-off as well. Now, I've already lost this roll-off, the initial one, so I did lose the game. So awkward left-hand handshake there, Vito. Yeah. That was a good game. I don't think I gave Tzeentch enough respect there. But we're going to jump into the post-game and have the discussion there.
Thanks so much for watching. After our post-game discussion, don't forget to check out the next battle report between Matthew and Luka in the MiniWarGaming Vault. They will be playing Cities of Sigmar versus Khorne. If you are not a Vault member, you can still click the link below to get a free 7-day trial. Vault members are what drive MiniWarGaming, so consider joining to support us and making even more miniature wargaming videos for you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the post-game discussion. Luka and Vito here to talk about the game that just happened, and boy, what a game.
Yeah.
I think it only lasted technically 2 battle rounds.
It did.
But a lot happened.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we called it top of turn 3.
Yeah, top of turn 3. On the roll-off. On the roll-off, yeah. So by the way, spoilers. You've been warned. The winner was Vito.
Yeah.
And the Eternal Conflagration Flamers. Which
such a strong cult or host.
Coven host.
Yeah,
I guess it would be a host.
It's so strong.
It's a host, yeah, host of demons.
If you build it properly.
Oh, naturally. It's Tzeentch is just, this is known, or it's becoming more well-known. Tzeentch is a really good book. They wrote this book and they gave it good rules. I don't care if people think it's overpowered. It's just the poor wording on the Destiny dice initially kind of hampered that.
Yeah.
Now, they've gone and eroded it and fixed it. And, lots of things like that. So it's looking a little bit better. The Flamers are solid, though. Now, the first and foremost, the 2 things I would like to at least personally cover for myself, why I lost, was due to, first of all, not enough respect for the list. Because we had played this game once, but not this game, but a game before.
With a variation of the list that I brought.
Yes. Where it's kind of the same concept. Lots of Flamers, lots of Exalted Flamers, lots of heroes for Locus of Change, and then a Lord of Change. The changes here were the Exalted Flamer on Chariot, and the Kairos instead of Lord of Change.
Yes.
And then less Flamers overall. It was actually 3 less Flamers. I think the other list may have been a little bit better.
I think so. I think the Lord of Change is better than
Kairos. I agree for sure. Kairos is good with the fact that you can throw out 3 spells, which is awesome. In this case, it was very useful. Though, Lord of Change, being able to have the command traits, an artifact if you want, and having the Rod of Sorcery, it's a pretty good shooting attack as well. It's like 2d6, 3s and 3s, rend 1/1 damage, 18-inch range or something nuts like that. I think Lord of Change is a generally better option. He still has that Master of Magic. He doesn't have the Oracle where he can change a die, but obviously you can see it didn't really come up at all in this game, or it wasn't really necessary. Now, I played Flesh Eater Courts. I played a pretty Crystal Gore is a list I'm familiar with, where the hard-hitting monsters, and that's always done very well for me. But to go against this very anti-melee build of Flamers was brutal, and Vito just walked all over me in that game. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Table your list for now. We'll come back to that. I'll play Bonereapers or something, Petrifax Elite against, and see how that goes. But I have it in my mind that Petrifax Elite is just so off the records overpowered that I gave Vito's list 0 respect. I thought I'm just gonna walk up the board, he'll shoot me, he'll do no damage, and whatever, it's fine. But I probably should have gone with my normal list. Now, this was a good game, and I think it wouldn't have changed too much. All that would have really changed was I would have had a few more Mortek Guard. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think it would have changed too much. My normal list has got 2 Gothizzar Harvesters. If you're not familiar with what they are, anytime a model, friend or foe, dies within 3 inches of a Harvester, I roll a d6 for that model, and on a 4 or more, I can replenish wounds to my units based on how many wounds the model that was slain. So for an example, in this game, when your Flamers shot at my Mortek Guard, if I pulled the ones near the Gothizzar Harvesters, and I would have swapped out the IMMORTIS Guard for the Harvesters because of the same points, and they would have sat on the same flanks. It would have been the exact same game with the Harvesters there instead. They would have, every one of my Mortek Guard that died, failed their 6 up, I could have got them back on a 4 or more. So you would have killed effectively half of the Mortek Guard.
Yeah, and then, they would have been around a lot longer.
Right. So ideally, when you're facing them, you have to kill off the Gothizzar Harvesters first, because it makes the Mortek Guard a little too efficient. But in this scenario, if you were shooting the Gothizzar Harvesters and leaving the 30 Mortek Guard to stand on that objective for next turn, that could have been a different game. In that concept alone. Yeah. Next time, you know what? We'll do this game in the future, and I'll probably try a better list as well. Now, I was thinking Null Myriad would have been a fun showing as well, which is a different legion of Bonereapers. That's the one where they ignore I believe they ignore the effects of Endless Spell or Endless Spell on a 5 or more, but I can spend a Discipline point to make it a 2 or more.
Ooh.
So in this case, my Liege KAVALOS probably would have survived. The side that had Kairos would have ignored most of the spells, but then I would have just got annihilated by the Flamers. Because then I just have my normal save, and then all the Rangers go through my normal save.
Right.
And I wouldn't have that buffed up Petrifax save.
I thought that flank was actually going to be my weakest flank.
Right.
But
It did
Kairos
really well.
was the force multiplier on that flank.
Yeah, he did really, really well. Like just all the the Destiny dice initially, making sure you got that +1 to cast for the next turn where you didn't really need it because you rolled nothing but 6s anyways.
Yeah.
So the Mastery of Magic rule, where you roll 2 dice when you cast a spell, and you swap the lowest die to the highest die value, is really good when you roll nothing but 6s on at least one of those dice.
Yeah.
And that was brutal.
I think, too, the real clutch moments in the game was when I rolled all of my Destiny dice.
That was the next
It's like,
part.
what,
Yep.
5 or 6
Yep.
6s? Or 5 and 6s?
I think it was 4 5s and 3 6s.
That was a lot.
That was nuts.
Because when you were firing your catapults, like,
Sorry, I was trying to think what you had, because you had 2 1s and a 2, and then you had 6 more dice.
I think I had 4 5s and 2 6s in there.
Would have been
Or was it
that would have it was either 4 and 2 or 4 or 3 and 3. But I think it was 4 and 2. It doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
had a lot of 5s. You had at least 6 5s and 6s. You're right.
Yeah. So when you were firing your catapults, I'm like, you know what? Why spend or why
100%.
take the chance and
No, you
rolling?
made the right call. You made
Yeah.
1,000% the right call. The second Vito rolled it, I would have gone first no matter what, by the way. So in this game, I was of course going to go first with those catapults to either make him burn them. I seen him roll them, and I'm like, ah, crap. He rolls the Destiny dice. I'm like, are you kidding me? 6 5s and 6s? Come on. My catapults have no rend. So it means he can just use the 5s to pass out. Obviously, if you watch the game, you've seen that. It pretty much made it so my catapults were useless on turn 1. And then, like, Salt in the Wound, my Mortek Guard failed to get to the objective as well.
Oh, yeah.
They rolled a 1 on their run with their Necrophoros that makes it a 2. I think I literally needed to roll a 3 up on that run to make it. So that sucked a lot too. And then on the right flank, the Screamers did an excellent job screening. I wasn't able to get into the Flamers to hit them down.
Yeah.
Because that was 100%. I was going to keep one squad there and then charge into the Flamers and the Exalted Flamer and try and neuter them. And then I knew Kairos wasn't great in combat, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Though he was very capable when it came to slinging magic. That was brutal. It was so close too. There was the potential for me to win the game at the very end there on Battle Round 3 had I won the roll-off. But then I showed you guys what would have happened, and I still failed that stuff anyways. And then there was hope for maybe a turn 4 draw, but I'm not gonna do a what if for a 4-turn draw. That's not as exciting as a what if for turn 3 draw. So the double turn just kind of made the game a little bit quicker and didn't need for another turn because evidently I would have failed what I wanted to do anyways.
Yeah. But this is the second time I've taken not this list, but a variation of the list.
Right.
I think this is a list I'm going to retire, or Luke and I might have a, you know what, let's try this again with a more refined version of the Bone Reaper.
Or if you come across Steve or Matt and they want to do a throwdown kind of game, you always have this list to fall back on.
Yeah.
Because it's quite good. It's definitely earned my respect. If we play, you know what, guys, if you want to see a rematch where I bring an even tougher Bone Reaper list and try this again, leave a comment down below. That won't be for a while. That won't be like next week's battle reports. That'll probably be like a month from now or more. I know you guys want to see more competitive style games where we just bring tougher lists in general. I kind of failed you here, but it was still Petrifax Elite and the Crawl. I really wanted to try out the Crawlers, and I liked them. I would like to bring them again, but they're situationally good. Specifically good against demons because they have a poor save.
Yes.
But when you can kind of automatically make your saves, maybe it's the best save in the game under certain circumstances.
Right.
So I guess we'll see. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the post-game show. If you want to see this list again, by all means, ask. Demand it. Demand we see the Flamers, or demand we see a rematch of Bone Reapers and Flamers in the future. We'll do like a best of 3 over the course of like half a year or something, something ridiculous like that. And otherwise, or maybe you can convince Matt or Steve to whip out like not Maw tribes, but what are the orcs called? Iron Jaws.
Oh, Iron Jaws.
The Great Wah is a pretty brutal Iron Jaw list.
Yeah, because they can get to you probably turn 1.
Well, they get to you right away, and they get like +1 hit and +1 wound across the board for and they already hit on 3s and 3 hit and wound. It's nuts. So that's something pretty brutal too. But at the same time, you're -1 hit in melee, and you can be pretty far away. So I'm very curious. I don't know what Steve would run. Steve likes specifically bad things. Maybe the Lumineth will be out by then, and then you can play Lumineth.
Yeah, who knows?
That's a wild. Anyways, you know what? We've taken up enough of your day. Please, any criticism down below, any comments you want to leave, we'll take them with a grain of salt, I suppose, on some of them. And let us know what you liked, let us know what you didn't like, and, as always, have a good day, and happy wargaming.